In this video, I'm going to show you why your Social Security claiming decision isn't just a personal choice. You're also choosing what your surviving spouse may live on for the rest of their life. And most people have no idea. Coming up next on Holy Schmidt.
Holy Schmidt!
If you're new to the channel, hi, my name is Jeff. I'm a CPA turned author turned public speaker. I'm also the creator of the course Social Security Simplified. I started this channel in 2020, really at the request of my daughter. She saw me helping relatives out with their finances, giving them great advice during a very dark time in our history. And she said, "Dad, if you can help them, can't you help others as well?" And with that, the channel was born. Today, we have over 420,000 subscribers, over 60 million views, over 5 million hours of watch time, and we would love it if you join our YouTube family. Simply click subscribe and turn on notifications, and you'll get alerted when we post our next video. We post 2 or 3 times a week. The vast majority of people approach their Social Security choice as an entirely personal decision. What's my break even? When can I retire? Etc., etc. But the fact is, it is much more than that. There are actually 5 permanent outcomes that happen when you make your Social Security choice. And the one we're going to start with, probably the most important for a lot of people, is what happens to my survivor if I pass before they do. Here's a crucial fact that doesn't get enough airtime. Statistically, one spouse will outlive the other under most circumstances. And by and large, the one that passes first is often the higher earner, the one whose Social Security payment supports the couple in retirement, or at least partially supports the couple. And when this happens, the higher earner's claiming decision sets the floor in most cases for the surviving spouse for the rest of their life. Let me give you a simple example to show you exactly what I mean. Let's say the higher earner's full retirement age benefit is $2,600 per month. If they claim at age 62, that benefit will be reduced to roughly $1,820 per month if their full retirement age is age 67. And we're going to assume age 67 throughout this video. That's a $780 monthly difference. Now fast forward 15 years, one spouse passes away, the surviving spouse steps up to the higher benefit, but only if the higher earner waited. If the higher earner claimed early, the survivor may now be living on $1,820 per month. If the higher earner waited until full retirement age, the survivor receives $2,600 per month. That's $780 difference. That monthly gap doesn't sound catastrophic at first, but over 1 year, that's $9,360. Over 20 years, that's $187,200. And that doesn't include the cost of living adjustment, which is given to either the claimed or the unclaimed payment. So if they wait, the COLA adjustment happens to the unclaimed payment and the base gets bigger and bigger. If they claim early, it happens to the actual payment. Now let's extend the example one step further, because here's where it gets really interesting. If the higher earner waited all the way up until age 70, their Social Security payment grows at about 8% per year after full retirement age. That means 124% of the full retirement age benefit at age 70. So instead of $2,600 per month at age 67, it becomes $3,224 per month at age 70. And that is the base for the survivor. So if you compare these side by side, for the higher earner, if they claim at age 62, they receive $1,820 per month. If they claim at full retirement age, that's $2,600 per month. If they claim at age 70, that's $3,224 per month. And those are the payments that the surviving spouse would receive on top of cost of living adjustments along the way if the surviving spouse filed at his or her own full retirement age, so say 67. There's a very specific exception to this. It doesn't apply to most people. It's called the widow's limit. If you have an interest in this, just do a search on my channel for the words widow's limit, and there's a video on it. So how much is that? $1,404 per month between age 62 and age 70, in today's dollars anyway. And on an annual basis, that's $16,848 per year. Over 20 years, that's $336,960. And this is why the higher earner's decision isn't just a claiming decision. It's the floor for the survivor benefit. The next point is what I call the base benefit lock. And this is a point that a lot of Social Security recipients and even some financial planners don't fully understand. There is a moment in the Social Security process that feels completely routine. You log on to the SSA website, You select your start date and you click submit. And then that's it. But structurally, in that moment, you're locking in your base benefit for the rest of your life and everything that comes with it. Social Security calculates your monthly benefit based on your claiming age. If you claim earlier, you get smaller payments, but you get more of them. If you claim later, you get larger payments, but less of them, assuming the same end date. But all future Social Security cost of living adjustments are based on that single decision. Here's why that matters. A few minutes ago, I said that your cost of living adjustment is given to your payment, whether you claim early or you claim late. If you wait and claim later, your COLA adjustment is added to your unclaimed total, meaning you don't just get the benefit for waiting, but you get the benefit plus the cost of living adjustment. If you claim early at age 62 and your benefit is $1,820 per month, a 3% increase, that 3% cost of living adjustment, gives you an extra $54.60 a month. If you wait until later, age 70, let's say, your Social Security payment is $32.24 and a 3% increase is $96.72 per month. And the difference compounds because every cost of living adjustment is based on the number that you lock in at the beginning. And if you use the same example, the age 62 versus 67 versus 70 example, that gap widens over time with every additional cost of living adjustment. Speaking of decisions, gang, Medicare can be confusing. It can be overwhelming. Ask any 65-year-old out there, and they will tell you that this is true. They will do hours of analysis and still make the wrong decision because they don't have full information. They think they do, and they're working with what they have, but they don't have the full information simply because they don't have access to the full database of providers out there, if nothing else. Keeping track of enrollment periods, understanding your plan options, and examining your plan at the end of every year to make sure that you have the providers that you're supposed to have takes a lot of work. On this channel, we have 3 affiliate relationships. One is our trusted Medicare partner, Chapter. Chapter has access to every plan. They look at every plan, and they will use that information to help you make the best choice for you. They won't push you into a plan that you don't want. They save their clients an average of $1,100 per year. They're really easy to work with. And having a discussion with them takes about 20 minutes. It's very easy. So if this is of interest to you, give them a call at 440-703-1224 to see if they can help. Now, the next point is that the payment decrease is permanent. A lot of people think that between age 62 or whenever they claim Social Security and full retirement age, that is the only point in time where their payment is lower. They think once they reach full retirement age, it goes up to the full retirement age benefit. That is not the case. If your full retirement age benefit is $2,600 and you claim it at age 62, that $1,820 is the amount that you're going to receive for the rest of your life, adjusted for the cost of living adjustment along the way. So if there's a 3% cost of living adjustment in the future, it's based on $1,820 in this example anyway, not $2,600. In other words, you're not just missing that $780 per month for 5 years, age 62 to age 67. You're missing it for the rest of your life. The next point is what I call the one opportunity to reset rule. You get one shot at resetting this. And this happens during the first 12 months after you claim Social Security. You can undo the whole thing by submitting a form. But here's the issue with this. You have to pay back every single dollar. And if you have your Medicare payment being taken out, you have to give that back too. Everything that you receive from Social Security has to be given back to them in order for you to reset your Social Security payment, to undo this. And this is why it doesn't happen a lot. But let me explain to you a very specific situation where it could happen. And when it does, oftentimes it happens for this very specific reason. Let's say that you are retired by your employer at age 62. It wasn't your choice. You didn't want to stop working, but at age 62, you don't see a lot of employment options out there. And you apply, it doesn't work, and you need to get cash flow coming in. So what do? You look at the world and say, you know what? There's no chance I'm going to get a job. I'm age 62. All of my competition is 25, 30, 35-year-olds, and they're willing to accept the salary of a 25 to 35-year-old. I was making a lot more money. Even if I wanted to take a cut in salary, most employers don't want to hire someone for 2 or 3 years. So I'm just going to apply for Social Security. Fast forward, it's been 6 months and you get a phone call. That phone call is from a competing firm, the firm that competed against your company when you were employed there. And for whatever reason, you didn't contact them, or maybe you did and they just didn't have an opening, but now they have an opening for your exact role and they're willing to pay you for it. What do? You're receiving Social Security. The choice many people would make would be to undo Social Security. You have 12 months to undo this decision. After that, it's permanent. But because you have a job, a great job, the one that you wanted to work at your employer, and maybe you might want to stick it to your old employer, who knows? But regardless, you now have the new job at the new firm competing against the old firm, and it's your dream job. So a lot of people would take that job. After 12 months, the claiming decision is effectively locked in. Now, technically, once you reach full retirement age, 67 in this example, you can suspend your payment and let it continue to grow. That will grow at 8% per year for any 12-month period. You could suspend it at 67.5 and let it grow until it's 68.5, and you'd get an additional 8%. And so between age 67 and age 70, the maximum growth you can receive is 24%. But that is based on the amount that you received when you first claimed Social Security. So in this example, your full retirement age benefit would be $2,600. If you claimed at age 62 and it was $1,820 and you decided you wanted to let it grow for an additional year, it would be 8% of $1,820, again, adjusted for the cost of living adjustment along the way. And the final point is that age 70 is the maximum point. Social Security rewards patience, but only up until a point. It stops growing at age 70. Now, I had something very unfortunate happen on a live stream. It wasn't unfortunate for me, but it was for a live stream audience member. And one of the questions they asked was about their Social Security payment. They said that they were age 74 and they wanted their payment to continue to increase and so had waited beyond age 70. Now, it's true that based on your earnings history, your Social Security payment can continue to increase, but I think that it would be a rare situation where someone wouldn't be better off claiming at age 70. So age 70 is the point where you don't get rewarded anymore for waiting. If your Social Security payment is $2,600 at full retirement age, waiting 1 year increases it by 8%, $2,808. And waiting 3 years increases it 24%. That's $3,224, but that would be the cap. It doesn't go any higher than that, based on waiting anyway, based on delayed credits. Still, that's a meaningful difference for you and for your surviving spouse later in life, if that is the situation that plays out. And this matters for two reasons. The first is that Social Security isn't an open strategy that continues throughout the rest of your life. There's a defined period to optimize. And for most people, it's between age 62 and 70. And for a lot of those, it's between age 67 and 70. It doesn't continue beyond 70. So if you're looking to optimize your Social Security, the benefit does not continue to increase past age 70. Secondly, it reinforces the fact that if you claim early, you are permanently reducing the size of your Social Security payment. Now, I don't want this video to be about claiming late is the decision for everybody. In fact, there are 4 decision points for most people, and only 2 of them suggest that you claim late. The other 2 would favor claiming early. First is that life's been hard and you just need the money. You're going to claim early because you need to pay the bills and get caught up on some things. And a lot of people do this. I will say that this isn't my favorite of all of the options, but enough people do it that it is a strategy. The second is that you are trying to manage to a particular point in time. Maybe you want to really enjoy the go-go years of early retirement, and you have enough later when you're not going to be able to move much. But right now, you want to be able to do things like go on cruises and take trips and gift out money to family members, et cetera, et cetera. And so claiming early is a strategy because you don't actually need the money, or at least you don't need it in the same way that you would need it in other circumstances. On the flip side, if you're trying to manage to a higher long-term care payment and you want more funds for long-term care in the future, you might want to consider waiting until 67, 68, 69, or 70. And if you're trying to manage to a survivor benefit, a larger survivor benefit, well, that might favor waiting as well. And the final one is if you're the mathematical type and you're trying to optimize the total number of dollars that you get. And you're looking at your health history, you're looking at your family health history, and you're effectively placing a bet based on the information that you have in front of you. A lot of times it's a really good bet. A lot of people get this right, but it is a decision based on a finite set of information. And you're looking at where you are today. You're looking at the break-even analysis based on your own specific medical situation, and you're making some assumptions. A lot of people do it that way. The point to note here is that you have limited options between age 62 and age 70, and optimizing that choice really depends on your specific situation. And with that information and thinking about it, really thinking about it, you can make the best choice for you. Gang, if you have questions about Medicare and how it fits into your overall retirement picture, don't forget to give our partner Chapter a call at 440-703-1224. Also, if you like this video, check out that video, the number one factor that lowers your Social Security payment. This is Jeff Schmidt, and I will see you in that video right there.